Hi guys, in this video we're going to do some thoracic mobility. You're going to need 2 pillows and a small towel, hand towel wrapped around, rolled up. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of focus on the breathing. Now I'm going to recommend that you grab one of your pillows, fold it in half and sit onto it and do your bum. I just find it helps the hips open up, that helps the pelvis open up, and then we just have a little bit more space to breathe. Okay. If you don't want to use that, you don't have to. You can sit on a yoga block as well if you prefer, or right up onto a chair. And then we're just going to bring your hands onto the side of your ribs. So often people kind of bring them down to here, but I really want them on the side of your body. Okay. Now as you breathe in, see if you can get your ribs to move outwards, almost like an umbrella opening up. So as you exhale, feel those ribs draw back in. Good job. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Now as you do this, we want to try and avoid the shoulders really hiking up. Okay, it's okay if as we breathe in we get a bit of movement through the front and top of the chest. That's totally normal. But we don't want all the movement just to come up from the shoulders like this. Okay, so try and let that movement come out like an umbrella opening. Let's do 3 more like that. You want to relax your belly as you do this, allow it to move out slightly as you inhale. Okay, that naturally happens. You want to soften through the back muscles and just kind of sit down onto that pillow into your sit bones. Really good. Okay, then we're going to bring one hand down, take the other up. Just do a side body stretch. Now don't just completely collapse on the other side. Think about stretching up and away and keep that shoulder away from your ear. Okay, the shoulder isn't an earring, as one of my clients always says to me. Same the other way. Good job. As you go from side to side, really breathe into those side ribs. Deliberately wore my stripy shirt so that you could get a bit of a sense of, how I'm moving through the rib cage, where's opening up. Good job. Now as you go from side to side, keep the elbows slightly soft. We don't want to lock out our joints. Really good. Nice. Okay, I'm just going to roll the shoulders around, really get those shoulder blades moving. Okay. And we want to free those shoulder blades up so they're not moving with our ribcage, they're moving separately from our ribcage. Good job. Changing directions if you haven't already. Nice. Okay. Really good. So now we're going to do a little bit of rotation. You can stay sat like this, or you can bring the pillow out and come into a low kneel. Okay. Then we're going to again bring the hands in front of you onto the side of the ribs. And then we're going to rotate the rib cage from side to side. So it's kind of harder than it looks sometimes. So you want to imagine that you're lifting your rib cage up and away from your pelvis. Okay. So I sometimes, when I'm teaching Pilates one-on-one, I'll lift people up and out of their pelvis, kind of lift them up, and it really helps. But you can do the same thing to yourself. So just put your hands on your low ribs and think about lifting up a little bit. And then keep that lift as you twist. And we're going to try inhaling in the middle, exhaling to twist. Inhaling in the middle, exhale to twist. And remember, we're still getting that outer rib motion like an umbrella opening as we breathe in. Keep tall. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw muscles. Good job. Really nice. Okay. And then we're going to come and do a little bit more rotation movement. So you're going to take one pillow underneath your head, the small roll towel underneath your waist. Okay, so this is the kind of curved part inside the waist on top of that hip bone. And then the other pillow is going to go between the knees, okay, and the feet. Okay, and that just helps to keep our spine in more of a neutral position. So get yourself comfortable. If you feel like you need a higher pillow, just fold it in half. And same with the legs. If you feel like your hips are still kind of squished downwards and not level, then you can always fold your pillow in half just to give you a bit more bulk. I'm going to do some rotation here. So first, bring your arms ahead of you, and then invite your shoulders back. Bring that top arm around, and then really try and rotate the heart, the middle of your chest, up and towards the ceiling. Okay, and don't worry about how far you get. We all have different levels of mobility. Now breathe in here, and you'll feel a bit of a stretch through the back at the front of the shoulder and the chest. And then as you exhale, just let go and imagine you're sighing out like a... Breathe in again here. And exhale again, sighing out. 3 more breaths like that. Really breathe into anywhere that feels a little bit tight. Exhale, sighing out. And if you notice that your pelvis has started to go with your rib cage, then just think about reaching that top knee forward. That's going to help kind of get the inner thighs on a little bit and get a little bit more stability in the hips and the legs and the pelvis. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit more, you can also kind of start the head turning as well towards the ceiling or even towards that back arm. Good job. We're going to bring that arm back forward. Then we're going to move into it. So as we move, we're going to keep that shoulder invited back towards the spine a little bit. We're going to breathe in to open up and exhale to close. Again, keeping the pelvis level, we're still reaching that top knee forward. The head can go with you or it can stay facing forwards, whatever feels kind of most natural for you. If you're moving the neck or even if you're keeping it still, let your head rest onto the pillow. Try and take tension out of the body and just move with a glide. Almost like you're moving your hands through nice kind of cool water on a hot day. Let go of tension in the hands, the jaw, the eyes. Good job. Last one here. So keep reaching that knee forward, rotating through the ribcage, through the thoracic spine, the upper spine, and the waist. Really nice. Good job. Okay. So we are going to do the other side now. But before we get that, we're just going to do a little check-in with your breathing. So we won't bother popping the pillow under, but just bring your hands to either side and notice if the breath feels any different. So it might feel like you've got a little bit more space on that side that we were just kind of rotating through, the side that was on the top. Just see how it feels. Maybe it doesn't. It's always good to notice those things though. It helps our brain to kind of remap any areas of tension, any areas of pain. And when our brain notices that we can make changes that quickly in our body, it makes us more hopeful if we are suffering from any pain or tension or anything. So it can be really helpful practice. Okay, let's do the other side. So pillow underneath the head. That small rolled towel underneath the waist, just above the hip bone. Remember, you can double over either of your pillows if you want a little bit of a more neck support, or if you have a bigger pelvis. Okay, so get comfy. Just take a second to kind of release any tension. And then we're going to invite our shoulders back a little bit. And we're going to do that rotation with that, what I call ha breathing. So we're going to come around. Head can go or can stay, whatever feels comfortable, just relaxing onto the pillow. Breathing into the front of the chest, into the rib cage, maybe a little bit even into the belly. And exhale, sighing out through the mouth, letting your body melt into more of that rotation, more of that twist as you go. Aiming to get the heart to gradually come and face toward the ceiling. But don't worry if that's not where you are, right? We need to listen to our bodies. We're never pushing into pain with any stretches. And again, we're reaching that top knee slightly forward if we're noticing that our pelvis wants to go with our rib cage. Okay. If you're kind of a bit more stiff, then you might find everything wants to move together. See if you can deepen your breath. Think about really breathing kind of almost into where our bra strap would be on the back of the body. One more breath here and letting go with every exhale. Good job. And then we're going to take it into an active motion. So invite your shoulder blade back towards the spine. Keep that pelvis stable, and we're going to twist through the upper body and come back in. Think about what your heart's doing. I like that cue for kind of building awareness of we're not just trying to move our shoulders and arms around, we're actually trying to move the upper spine, get some rotation. Good. Let's do 2 more like this. I'm not good at counting reps. You've probably noticed if you've watched more than one of my videos. Good job. Nice. Okay. And we'll come back up. And again, we're going to do a little consumer comparison, just check in, see how the breath is feeling. Does it feel like you're getting any more expansion of your rib cage, of your belly? Just notice. Don't worry if it doesn't feel like that's the thing that helped you. Okay, so now that we've done a little bit of rotation through the rib cage, we've done a little bit of side bending through the rib cage and the upper spine, we're going to do a little bit of extension through the upper spine. We're going to start with a passive version, so where we're letting gravity do the work, and then we're going to do an active version where our muscles are doing the work. So you're going to take your towel, you're going to roll up into a bit of a sausage. If you've got a really, really thin towel, like a tea towel, you might want to get a second one, or maybe even another one again, just to make it a bit thicker. Okay, so mine's probably about an inch or an inch and a half thick. Okay, you can go thicker if you feel like you need more. Depending on how stiff you are, less might feel better. If you've got a lot of mobility, you might be able to tolerate a bit more. Okay, so we're going to start around the bottom of the shoulder blades. So if you wear a bra, it's kind of around where the bra strap might sit. If you don't wear a bra, then if you kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit, kind of push them down, you might be able to get a sense of where they are, and then that's where you want to pop the towel. And then we're just going to lie down with that under, and what that's doing is pushing us into a bit of extension of our thoracic spine, so the kind of middle portion of our spine. And then if this feels like a lot, focus on your breathing. Feel free to grab a pillow. Don't have to go without head support. Okay. And you're just going to breathe here. Now, if you want a bit more, you're going to bring either one arm up behind you, or maybe even both. And then again, just breathing into it, let the shoulders relax if you can. You might have to hold them up if it's not comfortable. Again, you can support onto a pillow. We don't have to be in pain. So breathing here. And think about sending the breath into any stiff areas. And notice if you feel the front of the rib cage open up a little bit, maybe that space between the collarbones can kind of open up with your breathing. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring the towel up an inch. So if you had a hard time getting into this position, I recommend the easiest way to do it is to pop your elbows and push them down into the floor, tuck the chin, and just do a little bit of a push with your legs and your arms to come down. Okay, or you can do a little bit of a wriggle and move the towel up if you've got the shoulder mobility. Okay, so we've come up a little bit, now we're kind of on the shoulder blades. Same thing, arms can be down, we can use a pillow, we can bring the arms up if we want a little bit more. Couple breaths here. Focusing on letting go, especially as we exhale. And then we're going to come up again a little bit more. So you can move it up yourself if you've got the mobility in your shoulders, but you can wriggle down if it's tricky to do that. And same thing, bring your arms up. Soften through the jaw, relax the eyes, relax at the hips. These don't have to be bent, okay? The reason I tend to bend my knees with this is that it helps us to keep our hamstrings, which is the back of the thigh, just in a position where they can help support our back, and kind of prevent the ribs from really flaring up in this kind of lower rib cage area. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to do the active version, which is like a cobra if you've done any yoga. So we're going to come and lie onto your stomach. Okay. Hands are going to be bent in nice and close to your body with the elbows tucked in next to your chest. And the key thing here is to think about really lengthening your spine. So to do that, we're going to imagine that we're reaching the crown of the head away and ahead of us. And we're reaching the tailbone at the bottom of the spine away as well towards our feet. Now, I find thinking about energetically reaching the kind of arches of the feet away from you is quite helpful. So we're going to breathe in, and as we do so, we're going to peel up. If you have discomfort with your low back when you go into extension like this, then you want to think about tucking your tailbone. It's different for everybody. Come up, you can press into the hands a little bit to help. Keep reaching the crown of the head ahead of you. Chin is slightly tucked. You see I'm not kind of craning my neck, not poking my chin forward, it's gently tucked. And then as you come back down, you're also going to reach forward. Okay, so we're lengthening as we come down. Inhale, reach forward and lift. You can energize into the legs. You can kind of straighten the knees a little bit to get the quadriceps, the thigh muscles on. Reach forward and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach down. The goal here is to keep the collarbones wide, so nice wide shoulders, and really shine your heart forward. So you're kind of energetically reaching this area ahead of you. Okay. Do 4 more. Keep reaching. Last one, inhale up. Exhale to lower. Nice. And because that can be a little bit uncomfortable for some of us, we're going to go back into the opposite motion, which is kind of like a shell stretch or a child's pose. Knees can go wide or narrow, whatever feels good for your body. And then we're going to bring our arms down. Can you see how now in the opposite I'm kind of flex through the spine? So head can come down, hips pinchy on the hips. Modify with a pillow on your stomach, just to give your hips a bit more space. Or even pop a pillow between the heels and the hips. Do whatever makes you comfortable. You can always sit on a chair and just flex forward over your legs as well. And think about really breathing into the back body. Good job. And then again, we're going to do a side bend. So if you walk both of your hands over to the right hand side and cross the left hand over the right one. And then just really breathe into those left side ribs, left side waist. Imagine your breath is opening up an accordion, and the side of the ribcage is like that accordion. Good. And then walking the hands to the left, crossing the right hand over the left hand, and same thing, really breathe into that right side body, the ribs, the waist. Good job. Okay. Nice. We are all done. I hope you enjoyed that practice. Thoracic mobility is so important for us to breathe well. And I find for a lot of people, their stiffness in the neck is their stiffness in the lower back. Opening up that ribcage motion and that middle of the spine motion can actually be really, really helpful to offload those other two areas, because it's an area that we tend to get really stiff in for various reasons. It's not all to do with sitting, as some people like to think. I hope you have a lovely day.